Welcome back. It's 5:18 right now. No matter what you think of it, ghost hunting has become mainstream. From the movies that have you on the edge of your seat and won't leave your mind, to a fun movie aimed at kids, we all seem to be obsessed with paranormal investigations. But for a lot out there, talking to the dead is more than just a curiosity. It's a way of life. And it's not new. When the Voigt House was built in 1895 in Grand Rapids, we were in the middle of the spiritualist movement, they say, when seances and mediums were all the rage. But the question here, is the Voigt House itself haunted? Well, the Grand Rapids Public Museum gave us exclusive access inside overnight, and 24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen joins us now live at the Voigt House to talk to us about his own investigation. You spent the entire night there, Tom. What'd you find?
The entire night, Brett. That's something that hasn't been done since the late 70s. So this is something that you're only going to see here. We spent a lot of time in the room where I'm standing right now, which is the family parlor room. And a big reason why we spent so much time in here is because back in the time when the Voigts lived here, when you died, you held your own funeral in your home, or at least you would lie in wake here. And so one of the things that the Michigan Paranormal Alliance likes to do is spend time in the room maybe where the dead was back here in the master bedroom. And a big reason why we spent some time back here as well was for that same reason, was because that the 5 people believed to have passed, or that did pass in this home, most likely passed in this room. And so there was a good place that the Michigan Paranormal Alliance thought that we may be able to contact some spirits or some ghosts. And we want to show you a little bit of what we did last night. What we just finished up was our first EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. We did a quick test where we were sitting in a circle in a dark room asking questions and looking for immediate feedback to see if there were any spirits trying to communicate with anybody or communicate in this room.
Do you have a message for someone here? Did you die here?
The Michigan Paranormal Alliance will now take those recordings and listen to them with earphones and try to decipher if there was anything too subtle that we couldn't hear. What we're doing right now is going room by room with a psychic who just arrived to see if she can pick anything up as we move through the house. We've now moved into the master bedroom, where it's believed that most of the Voigt family that died in this house would have died somewhere in this room. And I have to tell you that just like I am, and probably a lot of you at home are very skeptical about the process that we did yesterday, or throughout the night really, many people with the Michigan Paranormal Alliance are the same way. So a lot of what they do is actually debunk things when they happen here overnight. And I have to say, we had that experience. One of their meters that was supposed to register when spirits go by actually registered last night. However, they didn't think that it was actually registering, and it turns out it wasn't. It was the type of electrical wiring inside this house, because it was so old, when we were turning on some of the lights, it would actually register that. Coming up at 5:40, we're going to be talking with one of the Michigan Paranormal Alliance to hear whether or not this house is in fact haunted. Brett and Emily, back to you.
All right, be interested in hearing that.
We'll be checking back in with Tom. Thanks. The Voigt House is closed to the public right now due to economic reasons.
But there are other places that you can visit in West Michigan that are supposedly haunted if you want to do that sort of thing. People say the Kirby Grill in Grand Haven is supposedly haunted by a ghost named Emily.
Oh. And 2 downtown Grand Rapids bars are also on that list. Some employees say the Ritz-Coney is supposedly haunted by someone named Henry in the basement.
We've also heard McFadden's is supposedly haunted on the 3rd floor of the Pearl Room there.
We've had a lot of Channel 8 parties there. We have. The Wealthy Street Theater is supposedly haunted. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And there are even occasional paranormal investigations at this historical landmark.
And we have all this stuff listed at woodtv.com too. You can take a look at it there if you want to take a look at some of these places for yourself. Or go get a hot dog at Ritz-Coney.
Yeah. 5:47 right now. That's a scary noise. When it comes to our curiosity of the paranormal, it's not just the movies vying for our attention. Now with TV shows like Paranormal State, we can watch several paranormal investigations every week, and millions of people do. So we decided we wanted to do our own investigation right here in West Michigan. We didn't go far. Right across our studio here on Heritage Hill sits the Voigt House. It was built way back in 1895 by Carl Voigt and his wife Elizabeth. It was built as their retirement home. It stayed in the Voigt family up until 1971 when Ralph Voigt died and turned it over to the people of Grand Rapids and the Public Museum. Since then, no one has lived there. So we wanted to find out if the Voigt House is really haunted. The Grand Rapids Public Museum gave us exclusive access to find out. And 24 Hour News 8's Tom Hillen spent all night there and joins us live to tell us what he found, if anything at all. Tom, how are you?
Well, I'm here, so that's good news. Had an amazing experience. This is really exclusive, pretty much once in a lifetime deal with the Grand Rapids Public Museum allowing us access like they did. No one has really spent the night inside this house since the late 70s. So had a great time, learned a lot, and now we want to pass some of that knowledge on to you. This morning we're joined by Rosemary Leyleveld, and you are with the Michigan Paranormal Alliance. And first off, we've been here all night. What do you think about this house? Is it haunted?
I would definitely have to say that there's some paranormal activity in this house, just from our personal experiences, but I don't think that there's anything malicious or negative here.
Kind of tell me why you feel that there is paranormal activity here.
I think that there's paranormal activity from the personal experiences we've had with the sounds that we've heard, the thumps, the thuds, also the disembodied voices that we've heard a couple of times this evening. So, and just kind of our senses, just picking up on different things. When you're in this kind of field for so long, you just kind of get a sense if there's something going on.
A lot of people will be skeptical of what you guys do, and kind of explain, because just in our talking, a lot of you are skeptical about what happens as well, and just kind of talk about how that plays into what you do.
Yeah, we definitely have skeptics on our team. It's really important for us to go in scientifically. We want to be able to produce evidence that's tangible, not just from our sensitives like myself and others, but we want to be able to have hard proof, photos, audio recordings, something going on with our meters, temperature gauges, that kind of thing. So that's really important to us to be able to produce that kind of evidence for our clients, homeowners, business owners. They want to know what's going on. So it's helpful if they have something that they could see, something that they can hear.
And a lot of us have seen the TV shows and maybe think they're not real, they're produced. Kind of, what is your feeling about those?
We have different views on some of the shows. Keep in mind it's for entertainment, so they have to enhance different things. Entertainment, if it's like nothing all the time, it's going to be boring. I can't, who am I to judge one way or the other if it's true or untrue? I can only go by my own experience in our group.
All right, Rosemary from the Michigan Paranormal Alliance, I want to thank you for your time this morning. We'll be talking with her again, and also coming up just after 6 o'clock, you'll be seeing a lot more of what we experienced inside the Voigt House throughout the night. For now, live inside the Voigt House, Tom Hillen, 24 Hour News 8.
All right, thank you, Tom. I'm so glad that you made it through the night. That's good news.
Absolutely.
All right,
I
thanks
was
again.
very nervous when I woke up this morning. Is Tom okay? Is he on Twitter?
What do you think, though, Tom? Was it kind of a freaky night there, or was it just a normal thing here? What's your opinion on this?
There were definitely moments where you kind of got the chills. You got goosebumps, some things that probably can't be explained. One thing that was really awesome, we had a curator for the Public Museum that really takes care of this house here. So sometimes we would hear noises and he would be able to explain to us what we were hearing. But of course, there were also some noises where he also didn't have an explanation for. So it was a great balance of information here.
Okay, Tom, thank you, and thank you for doing it. And of course, this is Tom's shift, so he wasn't sleeping there after, doing what he...
Right,
he was up all night,
right.
And that probably helped. The Voight House is closed to the public due to economic reasons, but there are more than 100 different paranormal societies in Michigan. If you would like to get in touch with them, we have a link set up for you at woodtv.com.
Interesting stuff. A lot of these will take people around and they'll do these kind of paranormal investigations. I mean, whether it's for entertainment or you're actually interested in it,
Sure.
It goes on all across the state all the time. Welcome back to 617 right now. Ghost hunting has become mainstream. From the movies that have you on the edge of your seat and won't leave your mind, to a fun movie aimed at kids. We all seem to be obsessed with paranormal investigations, but for a lot out there, talking to the dead is more than just a curiosity. It's a way of life. And do you believe in ghosts? Well, according to a poll that was done for CBS in 2009, 48% of people said they do believe in ghosts. 22% said they had seen or felt the presence of a ghost. But only 8% of people believe science will ever prove if the afterlife actually exists. Searching for the paranormal? Not that new either. When the Voigt House was built in 1895 in Grand Rapids, we were in the middle of the spiritualist era when seances and mediums were all the rage. But is the Voigt House itself haunted? Well, the Grand Rapids Public Museum gave us exclusive access inside to spend the entire night there. And 24-Hour News 8's Tom Hillen joins us now live at the Voigt House to talk to us about his own investigation. Good to see you made it through the night there, Tom.
Absolutely, absolutely. We had a great time here overnight, and really, it's the first time that anybody has spent the night throughout the night here in this house since the late 70s. So that just tells you how extraordinary this opportunity was and really how unique this is for people to be seen. Now, where we are right now is inside the family's parlor room, and a reason why there was a lot of focus on this room with us overnight was because this is where the family would spend a lot of time. They would entertain here, and if for some reason they were to lie and wake in this room after they died, it would have been in this room. Another room where we spent a lot of our time really focusing on trying to see if we could contact any of the spirits or see if anything were to turn up was inside the room right off of this, which would be the master bedroom. And the reason why we focused a lot of the attention on this room overnight too was for that same reason. We do know that at least 5 of the Voigts did die inside this home, and it most likely would have been in this master bedroom. Now we want to show you a little bit about what we did overnight. What we just finished up was our first EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. We did a quick test where we were sitting in a circle in a dark room asking questions and looking for immediate feedback to see if there were any spirits trying to communicate with anybody or communicate in this room.
Do you have a message for someone here? Did you die here?
The Michigan Paranormal Alliance will now take those recordings and listen to them with earphones and try to decipher if there was anything too subtle that we couldn't hear. What we're doing right now is going room by room with a psychic who just arrived to see if she can pick anything up as we move through the house. We've now moved into the master bedroom where it's believed that most of the Voigt family that died in this house would have died somewhere in this room. So is the Voigt House haunted? Well, coming up, you're going to hear from someone from the Michigan Paranormal Alliance who will answer that question for us. For now, reporting live inside the Voigt House, Tom Hillen, 24-Hour News 8.
All right, thank you so much, Tom. Looking forward to that.
Yes, we are. The Voigt House is closed to the public right now due to economic reasons.
But there are other places you can visit in West Michigan if you're interested in doing that are supposedly haunted. People say that Kirby Grill in Grand Haven is supposedly haunted by a ghost named, get this, Emily.
Oh, and 2 downtown Grand Rapids bars are also on that list. Some employees say the Ritz-Coney is supposedly haunted by someone named Henry in the basement. We've also heard that McFadden's is supposedly haunted on the 3rd floor in the Pearl Room.
And the Wealthy Street Theater, supposedly haunted. And there are even occasional paranormal investigations at that historical landmark. All sorts of paranormal investigations and groups and organizations that are all across West Michigan that are involved in doing this sort of thing if you're interested in that sort of thing. We have a link for you too if you want to see some of that stuff. It's at woodtv.com.
I think it's fun. Yeah. When it comes to our curiosity of the paranormal, it's not just the movies vying for our attention. Now with TV shows like Paranormal Estate, we can watch several paranormal investigations every week, and millions of people do. So we decided we wanted to do our own investigation right here in West Michigan. Right across the studio here on Heritage Hill sits the Voigt House. It was built back in 1895 by Carl and Elizabeth Voigt as a retirement home. It stayed in their family up until 1971 when Ralph died and turned it over to the people of Grand Rapids and the Public Museum. Since then, no one has lived there. So we wanted to find out if this house is really haunted. The Grand Rapids Public Museum gave us exclusive access to find out. So we sent 24-Hour News 8's Tom Hillen there. He spent the night all night long there. He joins us live this morning to tell us what he found. Hi, Tom.
Well, good morning to you, Emily. That's right. We've been here all night long, something that hasn't happened since the 70s. So that just tells you how exclusive access we did have to this house. Now, this morning we're joined by Rosemary Lelyveld, and you are with the Michigan Paranormal Alliance. And from your professional opinion, what do we have in this house? Is it haunted?
I definitely think that there's some paranormal activity here in this house. Just from our personal experiences, things that we've heard while we were here, absolutely.
Kind of describe for people back at home what we did here, what we went through. What was the process we went through this tonight?
Well, basically, we came in, set up our equipment throughout the house, recorders, cameras, etc. But most of what we encountered was personal experience, where we heard thuds that we could not explain. A couple of people thought to have heard, like a low moan or a voice, that kind of thing. So personal experience, really.
Now, a lot of us are skeptics, at home watching, and you even have a few people, part of your group that may be somewhat skeptical. Kind of describe how that is important for your group.
It's really important for us to go in with a scientific approach, because you don't want to just go somewhere and say, yeah, it's haunted. We want to have tangible evidence that we can produce for our clients, homeowners, business owners, audio, video, something that they could see, something they can hear. Just not hearsay. The personal experiences are great, but if we could document those and show that gives answers to people. So that's really important, because we're all about helping people, educating them, empowering them. So.
For a lot of people, including myself until tonight, the only experience we've had is what the TV shows or the movies that we've seen. Kind of talk to us about, what is real on those shows, maybe what isn't, your opinion of them, really.
I think that, some evidence that they have seems to be real, but, a lot of times in some of the shows, they'll show what they call as orbs. That's too often mistaken for spirit activity. There's too many natural explanations: dust, pollen, bugs, moisture. So, I think that they're sometimes quick to jump to a haunted explanation.
Rosemary from the Michigan Paranormal Alliance, we really want to thank you for your time this morning and your insight into this. We really had a great time here overnight. It's been an amazing experience, something that really is once in a lifetime. And for now, I want to pass it back to you guys back in studio, Brett and Emily.
What a fun way to spend Halloween night.
Yeah, it certainly was. We're glad you made it through it. Okay, Tom. So what do you think, though? Was there anything there that you couldn't explain?
Yeah, there were definitely some noises that I could not explain, that we could not explain as a group. Something that was really unique is we did have a curator from the museum here, so a lot of times we did hear some noises, and he was able to be like, that's a normal noise for this house. You got to remember, this house was built in the late 1800s, so it has creaks and moans and different noises that it makes, but there were several times where we heard some knockings that just really couldn't be explained, so it was very interesting.
Okay, Tom, we love it. Thank you so much. The Voigt House is closed to the public due to economic reasons, but there are more than 100 different paranormal societies in Michigan. If you would like to get in touch with them, we have a link set up for you at woodtv.com.
Really interesting stuff. A lot of people do that. Some consider it entertainment, some consider it a way of life.
Yep.
It's certainly becoming more mainstream here in what we see across all spectrums.
That's right.